Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the home of the final race in the round of 15. We're getting ready for Heat 1. This is going to arguably be the longest race day all season. 20 lap heat races around this 1.5 mile racetrack. So, definitely the longest heat races we've had all season. Maybe far from like a road course heat race we've had. But I think everyone's definitely going to have to pit, so it'll be interesting to see what the strategies will be. Front row is Nanako again with Bobo Jones to his outside, Johnson and Rich row 2, Commons, Braxton row 3, Brommer and Zorlin row 4 with Wild and Bright in row 5.
Drivers, start your engines!
Casey Nanako with a great finish at Indianapolis. It was his 6th top 5 of the season. 8th total top 10 as he climbs to 21st in the points now. 9-point gap over Joshua Sekuli Fitzwater, missing his first race of the season. Leaves just Braxton and Seth Cole as the two drivers who have made every race this season. If one of them is eliminated in the main event tonight, that could possibly change. Seth Cole, of course, had to get in on a Probo at, I believe it was Michigan or Springfield. So Braxton is the only one who has not had to rely on that. And we could get to the point where I take a look at the point standings, and I'm going to see how many drivers have missed only one race this season. Possibly something I can do heading into the race tonight. But we're here at Charlotte, and we're waiting to see if the middle or outside line is going to be much of a thing at all, as Bobo Jones will move to the inside of the Nanako into turn 1. Clear 59 degrees here at Charlotte today, and it definitely looks like the bottom line is going to be a thing. Ryan Brommer has made it 3 wide back there for 4th. Marty Johnson on the top, as Bobo Jones will complete the pass on Casey Nanako for the lead. Now gunning for 2nd place on him is Sky Commons, who won his first race of the year at Indy. First race for him and Toyota. It only took Toyota 41 races to get a main event victory. And now maybe they'll just look to keep up the win streak, as Sky Commons will be locked into the round of 10. His teammate, however, Enzo Nereza, in a bit of a hole. We'll go over all of the points implications at the main event tonight, as Commons is challenging Bobo Jones for the lead here in Heat 1. Now, I can tell you one thing for sure. There are no drivers who were in the same boat as Braxton and I believe it was Baranoskis were in at the end of round 1. No one can lock in on points, or no one has locked in on points, I should say. Brommer's the highest of them all, 43 points above the cut line, but the next guy down is Seth Cole, and he only has a 23-point gap. So Brommer is in the safest of positions, and I'll likely get where these drivers have to finish to solidify a spot. We also have a tie between Hunter Braxton and Eli Bright going into the race. Now, if it were to end in a tie still by some reason, for instance, one of them leads a lap and the other one doesn't, and they finish right behind each other, it would go down to Braxton, because Braxton has 2 wins on the season. It would actually go to Braxton no matter what, because Braxton, if you look at the stat sheet, has 4 more top 5s than Eli Bright, and that is something that can't be tied. Bright could get his 2nd win and lock himself into the race, though, or round of 10, I should say. That would change everything for Braxton. Right now, Braxton's 10th man in, as Commons leads here on lap 7. Brahmer trying to make the bottom work. Jonathan Zorlin up to 3rd place. There's Braxton looking for 4th from Jones, and Rich would be right behind him for 5th. Final junior motorsports car, Eli Bright, as aforementioned, running in 7th. Let's see what these lap times are down to. The fall-off has begun a little bit. Fastest time goes to the 3, as Zorlin's peeking out for 2nd place. They'll go into turn 3. Let's see if Brahmer's able to make that outside work. It doesn't look like he will. Commons continues to lead as Zorlin moves up to 2nd. And don't look now, but here come the junior motorsports boys. Braxton, Rich, and Bright, as Rich looks to the inside of Bright through 1 and 2. Nothing going for the 1 as Braxton begins to draft his way up to the 3 of Brahmer. And Rich's move opened the door for Bright off of 4, or off of 2 rather. Man, my words have been really jumbled ever since yesterday. I'm not sure what's going on, if I've just been talking so much that everything is just all jumbled up. Battle for the lead here in Heat 1 between Zorlin and Commons. Commons trying to make that outside work, but it looks like Zorlin will clear him here. And indeed into turn 3. No, wait, Commons will challenge back. But Zorlin will hold on to take the lead here. 10 laps of 20 in Heat 1 complete. And your bottom 4 right now is Quinton Moore, Frodemar Otts, Sane Beckett, and Baco Magora. Cooley just inside right now in 19th. Fitzwater in 13th, looking pretty good, but pit stops could definitely make or break things, as Zorlin and Brahmer are going to pit here right on lap 11, so really early as Flickinger gets turned. Flickinger got turned by, I believe it was Slade Jagger, trying to get on pit road. He must have been on the outside. Of course, heat racing, so no cautions, but Flickinger definitely going to be hurt by that. As let's see, is this a tire stop? It definitely is. Right sides are up for Zorlin. And yep, 4-tire pit stop for him. Bobo Jones will stay out, Tremblay as well. As Commons leads pretty much everyone else down from what I can see. Just Jones and Tremblay elect to stay out. But it was a 4-tire pit stop for the first group. What about the second group? We're watching from the 40. And it's 4 tires for them too. So let's see, does Jones and Tremblay, do they take 2 tires only here? Peter Onjak still stuck on his pit stall there. That could kick him out of the race. And the Nako had a poor stop. So a few drivers with poor pit stops. Let's wait and see what the 0 does. It's going to be 4 tires for him. No, I think Tremblay took 2. Tremblay took 2, I believe. And there's the battle right there between Commons and Zorlin. But Brian Tremblay took 2 tires. Whether they were right sides or left sides, I do not know. But I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. Zorlin and Commons have already got it to him. He was just so far back, but this is definitely a great move if he's going to make the race. Right off of turn 4, Tremblay will get to lead a lap here in the heat. But there's the move to the inside by Zorlin for the lead here in heat number 1. Did I say heat 2? I think I did. Man, I'm just so messed up. I'm sorry, guys. All these errors by me is very concerning, to say the least. Zorlin with a bumper full from Sky Commons. Two drivers that have won races here in the playoffs. So Tremblay trying to hold on to third, but Bright and Braxton are right there. And then a gap back to sixth place. Ryan Brommer, Devers seventh, Quinton Moore eighth. Peter Onjak a lap down. Battle for ninth between Jones and Wild. Braxton trying to take third from Eli Bright. As the battle continues to rage on between Zorlin and Commons, these are your bottom four: Flickinger, Onjak, Casey, Nanako, and Zane Beckett. Nanako had a really bad pit stop, and it looks like one race after a dominating performance, he could miss out. Commons just cleared Zorlin off of two, but Zorlin's not giving up. Commons looking for what would be his second heat victory of the season. 3 laps to go in heat 1. Will the 88 or the 7 have time to catch up? Tremblay down to 6th place. Looking like it'll plop him down to 7th. Commons holding on to the lead here in heat number 1. Zorlin trying to get back to his bumper, but it looks like Commons has a much better corner entry than the 00. Coming off of turn 4 for the white flag in heat 1 is Sky Commons. Eli Bright and Braxton also trailing back, not catching at all. As Nanako will not make the race. The final position is up for grabs between Beckett, Magora, and Jagger. But off of turn 4, it'll be Sky Commons getting his second heat win of the season. So Skyke will get the start on the front row as he looks to get another 5 playoff points for the round of 10. Officially missing the race will be Jagger, Nanako, Onjak, and Flickinger. Unsure what happened to the 12, but with that, we'll take you to Heat 2. We're back, getting ready for Heat 2. Temperature has cooled off down to 48 degrees, or close to it anyway. Let's get to your starting lineup. On the front row, we're teammates Alan Cavanero and Enzo Nareza trying to duplicate what teammate Sky Commons did in Heat 1. Row 2, Matthew Logan and RJ Bishop. Bishop missing the last 2 races. Wyatt Anderson, another great qualifying run in his Heat race. He'll start in row 3 with Samet Oskin. Row 4 is James Ellison and Johnny Gardner. And row 5, Dale Lightning and Audra Baranowskis.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
And getting ready. 20 laps of action here in Heat 2 as well. From what we saw in Heat 1, it looks like drivers are going to pit right after they go 10 laps. It was the winning move for Sky Commons. He came down coming to 8 to go as Dylan Young has a problem. Luckily for Dylan, he is locked into the race, but a lost opportunity to maybe start on the front row. He does hit the start-finish line. We'll have to see if he retires or not. Anderson had a very good run in his heat race at Indy. And he's looking for third once again as Nareza is dropping like a rock. Alan Cavanero will lead the first lap in Heat 2. As Dylan Young, I believe, is that the official margin back? I don't think that's the official margin back. I could be wrong. Yeah, he's still on pit road. So Cavanero leading, looking to get a Joe Gibbs Racing front row for Charlotte. Team Penske with the all Ford front row. Back at Indy, one race to go. It was the first time Ford pulled it off. The last time we saw Junior Motorsports do it, they did it at Chicagoland. But Cavi's got a bumper full of Matthew Logan. I believe Junior Motorsports has done it a few times. 2 times. 2 times. 3 times. 3 times, I believe. So Junior Motorsports has done it 3 times. Team Penske just did it for the first time, and now Joe Gibbs wants to do it. It would be the 5th teammate front row of the season if they pull it off, and right now it looks like Cavi's got the car to do it. And Wyatt Anderson is not going anywhere. Dylan Young out on the racetrack 2 laps down. He will get in the event no matter what. He is in the playoffs. Wyatt Anderson in 3rd place could be one of those kinds of drivers that gets bumped out at the back of the field. Right now you want to finish 19th to make the race. The 4 drivers right now would be Wheeler, Rowe, Catano, and King. The next lowest playoff driver in the running order right now is Baranowskis in 14th rather. Just updated to 14th. Cavi continuing to lead. We're already 5 laps into heat number 2, and with good reason. He's got the fastest lap time of the race. As Dale Lightning will make a move to the inside of Anderson for 3rd. Nareza holding strong in 5th. Or actually, he just lost that to Edwin Mendez. RJ Bishop looking to take 6th. Bishop has missed the last 2 races. Ever since getting eliminated from the playoffs, things have not been going well for the 42 team. They need to make a race and turn things around. As Dale Lightning will put his teammate Matthew Logan to the top side to take 2nd place. Lightning got his last heat win all the way back at Pukekohe at the end of the International Tour, and he was on a hot streak back then. Yeah, man, he was really on a good hot streak for heat races before the International Tour came and ended. Lightning still has the most of any driver in Heat 2 with 6. Tied behind him in a 3-way tie at 5 apiece is Young, Logan, and Baranowskis. As Cavanero looking for the heat win he did not get last race. As Dale Lightning's going to make the move on his inside down into turn 3 they go. Lightning looking for the top spot as Edwin Mendez creeps up. Mendez was looking for his first heat win at Indy, but fuel strategy was a thing, and we'll have to wait and see what the strategies will be here in heat number 2. Anderson holding strong in 4th place. I believe the only driver that made any attempt at strategy was Anderson's teammate Brian Tremblay, who took 2 tires on his pit stop. We'll have to see if anyone attempts that in this race. Of course, on the overall heat leaderboard, it's Braxton leading with 10, Sorlin in 2nd with 8, and Rich in 3rd with 7. Also tied with Logan Baranowskis and Young at 5 heat wins is Ryan Brommer. Ooh, a little voice crack there. As we'll see, Mendez is going to take the lead away from Lightning. Does anyone pit here coming to 9 to go? And that answer is no. No one from Heat 2 is going to pit this early. Oh, actually, no, we've got some takers back there. James Ellison, Johnny Gardner, and Corey Riggs are going to try and do an undercut here. There's Dylan Young 2 laps down. Mendez, though, in the race lead, coming to 8 to go. As Cavanero, Anderson, Bishop, and others will come down pit road. Yeah, a lot of cars coming in as someone got turned. I think that was Fernandez, and maybe Seth Cole was involved in it. 4 tires, I believe, for these 3 drivers. So we'll have to see if the first pit stall is cursed or not. We saw Casey Nanako have some issues with it. But Mendez and Lightning, I believe, were the only ones to stay out. 4 tire stop for Cavanero. And no issues for Cavi, as he'll be the first out. Anderson right behind him. As Mendez is down pit road, along with Dale Lightning. Right sides only for the 4. That's strategy talking right there. Same for Lightning. So they stayed out the longest to take right sides only. We'll have to see if that works in their favor. As they are out of pit road, here comes Cavanero as Young jumps to pit road. Can Cavi's fresh 4 tires work out? In these last 6 laps, he has a lot of time to make up. There's Cavi right off of turn 4. And let's bring up our speed ticker. What is the lap time going to be? We'll watch Mendez for this lap. Looking at his corner speed. 160 miles an hour there through 1 and 2. It's a 4-second gap back to Cavi. Gardner, Ellison, Riggs really hopped a lot of cars. Down to 153 and 3 and 4 for Mendez this lap. Coming to 5 to go. We'll see what his lap time is. It's a 30.889, a 5.6. Man, Cavi is a full second faster. Let's see his speed in 1. Only, wow, 170. Cavanero, man, is flying right now. Does he have the time to get there? Mendez is looking for his first heat win. Lightning his 7th, Cavi his 4th. And Lightning's got a pretty good run on Mendez too. Into turn 1 he goes. Lightning and Mendez being side by side is the greatest thing for Cavanero to see right now. I just don't think taking right sides only is going to work. Lightning to the point, but here comes Cavanero. Just so much faster than the 5 and the 18. Look at all that grip Cavanero has. Up to 2nd place he goes. Coming to 2 laps to go this time by. See, he's really on the bumper of Lightning. And he's peaking. He's peaking. There's the peak. Can't quite get there. He's still looking. 2 laps to go in Heat 2. Yep, Cavanero's there. There he is to the inside of Lightning, and there he goes. Gardner in 4th, Anderson 5th, Ellison 6th. as Cavi will now just drive away from the 5 and the 4. And Seth Cole had a bad pit stop too. Right now your bottom 4 out of the race would be Rowe, King, Hudson, and Fernandez. As we are on the white flag lap. And it looks like for the second time in this round of 15, Seth Cole will rely on a provisional. But the story of the day is for the second week in a row, it will be a teammate sweep of the heat races as Cavanero gets his 4th of the season. Himself and playoff teammate Sky Commons will grace the front row in the final race of the round of 15. Wow, 2 races in a row. And we'll see if one of them is able to take the pole and the win tonight. 100-lap race tonight, by the way. At least 2 pit stops, maybe 3 depending on the fuel usage we see. But Cavanero was able to beat out Lightning and Mendez. 4 tires was the call to do. Of course, Cavi undercut them, so they had little choice in the matter. Well, they had choice, but anyway, missing the race will be Fernandez, Hudson, King, and Rowe, and getting in on provisional Seth Cole and Dylan Young. And with that, I will see you for a 100-lap race tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway.